Hey, what's going on, Tackle Warehouse fans? Jake here with this week's episode of What's New Tackle Warehouse. So we got all kinds of stuff for you today. Summer is in full swing. Hopefully you guys are out having a good time on the water. We got a few baits, hopefully catch a few more fish in this hot weather season. So the first one, middle of frog season, what better time to get a new frog? So we got the new Savage Gear DC Poppin' Frog. This is a really cool frog just because all the design features that go into this frog. So DC stands for dual chamber. And what that is there's a separate chamber that the hook runs through inside the frog. So you don't have any problems with water intrusion. This frog's never gonna fill up with water. For water to get in, it would have to go all the way up to the first chamber just to get into the body of the frog itself. So you're not gonna be constantly squeezing this thing out and ruining your cast halfway and just having issues with it with like some of the other poppin' frogs on the market or just hollow body frogs in general. And then with that poppin' mouth, of course you're gonna get that that big splash and spray. It's gonna be really good for fishing kind of around the outside edges of weeds and kind of around the mats and things like that. Open water, skipping under docks, that's where the poppin' frog really shines. It's got these nice grooves on here that the hook sits perfectly flat on, so it's gonna be super, super weedless if you do wanna throw it into cover and work it through and then, pop it and walk it and stuff like that out in the open water. Collapses down, you get a lot of bite. Just a really cool frog from Savage Gear. You wanna check that out. Check that one out if you're looking for new poppin' frog. So, got some new spinner baits from Spotsticker. This is the new Shad head series, and we got them in the double willow and the Colorado willow. I want to show you guys these because it's kind of hard to see all the details on the website, on the pictures online. These are really, really nice spinner baits. So they're built kind of on a lighter wire frame, so you get a lot of flex. So those blades are going to be able to get maximum vibration, which is always key, what you want. You want to get maximum vibration out of your blades, but they're still strong enough. They're not going to break on you when you get a big fish on or you catch one or two fish. They're not going to break. They got premium components on them. They got Spro swivels, so those blades are going to turn no matter what speed you're at. They got long shank, Mustad Ultra Point hooks on there, so a really good hook. They're really long, so you can still run a trailer hook if you want, but still that hook sits there real far back, so you're going to get great hookup ratio. Plenty of hook on there to add a trailer if you want to. One of the things I really like is all the different colors they have that are a little bit different than some of the spinner baits on the market, like that Baitman. It's kind of their version of like a table rock shad and that Texas Craw. And some of the things you can't see online, like on this Baitman, the blades got a bunch of like some micro purple flake in it. Same thing with the Texas Craw. There's a lot of flake in the blades themselves, and just details that you can't really pick up on sometimes. And just they put the extra effort to just make these spinner baits a little bit better than all the other spinner baits that are out there on the shelf. All right, next up from Rash. So for all the swim bait guys that, you spend tons and tons of money on those expensive glide baits and swim baits, the last thing you want is when they get beat up over time and you get that hook rash on there. So what the company Rash is giving you guys swim bait armor. So we got a couple of different kits, different sizes for different size baits, and then we also have one for the DRT Clash itself. And what this swim bait armor is, it's a self-healing armor that you put onto, you apply it onto your swim bait, and there's directions online, like how do you do it, how to clean the bait and how to properly apply this stuff so it stays on there. But it's totally clear, so I've put them on a bait myself, and it's totally clear, you can't see it at all. And it's just gonna protect those expensive swim baits, those nice custom hand-painted airbrush paint jobs. It's gonna protect that, your hooks aren't gonna tear them up, and it's also gonna protect against small abrasions from bass and from maybe running into sticks and things like that. It's gonna protect that paint finish and just overall protect your swim baits. We all know that we spend a lot of money on them and you wanna keep them looking as good as possible. The next thing they got is their swim bait tracer kit. So this is a variety of bright colored stickers. We got them in a variety of colors, and you get a bunch of different sizes in the pack, and you can apply these to the top of your glide bait. So we know a lot of the JDM baits that come from overseas already have that chartreuse or pink coloring on the back so that you can see it out on the end of a long cast and be able to impart twitches when you need to and crank just at the right time. You'll be able to pick up on little bumps or bites, something that's out of the ordinary, a lot better when you have those high-vis swim bait tracers on the back of your bait. And it's gonna be really good for when you're fishing overcast conditions or you're fishing a little bit dingier water and it's a little bit harder to see your bait. You can throw those things 150, 200 feet, and it's hard to see exactly what's going on at the end of the cast. This is gonna help alleviate that. All right, we got a bunch of soft plastics. The first one from FMTC. This is their new wide load crusher craw. So This is built on the kind of the same foundation as their original Craw. It's got that skeletonized body, same style pinchers. What I like about this wide load Craw, it is a wide bait, but it's relatively short and compact. So if you're looking for kind of a big jig trailer, this is gonna be really good for that. Flip in, punch and bait, anything like that, it's gonna do really well at that. With that skeletonized body, this bait actually glides through the water, and then the claws on there get a counteracting flapping action. So you kind of get two actions in one with this bait. And then that butt section and this middle section is really tough and reinforced. So it's not gonna get torn up when you're on a jig or you have it rigged up on a Texas rig and you're flipping and punching it. Loaded with Craw scent, so fish are gonna bite it, hang on, not gonna let go. All right, we got a bunch of plastics from Xcite Baits. So this first one is their new Slim Jim worm. Really long worm, 8-inch worm. As you can see, super slim, has a kind of wide head, tapers down to this really, really narrow tail. And with no action from your rod, this thing just gets a ton of quivering action. So it's gonna be really good for Nico rigs and then shaky heads, especially this time of year, starting to get hot and you really gotta slow down and finesse them to get bites. This is gonna be a good worm for that. And like all the Xcite baits, including this one that I'm going over, they don't put any salt or anything in their plastic. So it's a high floating formula. So when you have this thing on a shaky head or a Nico rig, things like that, that tail is gonna point straight up in the air or in the water. And it's gonna sit there and dance, and you don't have to worry about your worm sinking to the bottom and not working for you when you're not twitching it. The next one they got is their new lizard. I really like this. I've always been a big fan of throwing lizards. I really like this one. It's just your 6-inch lizard. It's got nice curly arms, nice big tail on there. It's got a textured back. What I like about this lizard in particular, again with the no salt added into the plastic, you're gonna get a nice slow fall when you have it on a Texas rig or when you have it on a Carolina rig. It's gonna sit there and suspend back there. And then on the back of it, in this chamber right here on the belly, there's a small chamber. So you can add a rattle to it, or what I would like to do is just add some scent in there, and it's gonna hold that scent in there for a long time and constantly lets them out, and you don't have to keep reapplying scent every few casts. Just a cool lizard, it's exciting to see more lizards hitting the market. The last one is our new Xtreme stick. So just like the other ones, no salt in this plastic. And what that's gonna do is you're gonna get a much slower fall with this bait than you would with some of your other highly salted stick baits on the market. I think this is really gonna excel if the fish are up like super, super dirt shallow, and sometimes those stick baits, they're on the bottom in a couple seconds. This one is gonna take a lot longer to get down there with just that weight of the hook. If you're rigging it like Texas rig, weightless, or on a wacky rig, it's gonna take a lot longer for this one to fall. I think it's gonna be really good for pond fishing as well. A lot of those ponds are only a few feet deep, and this one's gonna hang out in the strike zone a lot more and just give you more time for fish to bite it. And then also if you're fishing it, if you like to fish stickworms on a shaky head, weighted Nico rigs, things like that, that tail's gonna stand straight up on the bottom because there's no salt in this plastic. Just really cool plastics from Xcite. You wanna check out all those. So the next ones we got a bunch of baits from Deeks Jigs. This first one is their new underspin head. I believe it's called the Deadspin. It's got that nice rounded mushroom style head. Nice, it's a really small willow leaf blade on there. It's attached to a ball bearing swivel, so it's gonna spin all the time. What I like about this underspin is it is really, really small, but it comes with a 2X Mustad Ultra Point hook. So you don't have to run it on 6-pound line and worry about bending the hook out. So you're gonna get a lot of power with that hook. So it is nice and compact. It's gonna match up with tons of little swim baits and flukes and things like that. But you can even throw this on casting equipment if you want. We got it down in a bunch of really small sizes, but you can throw this on 10, 12-pound fluorocarbon and have no problem and not worry about bending out the hook. So it's nice to have that compact package, but have a little bit more power. The last one we got here is their new Tubespin. So I rigged one up just to show you guys. They come in a 2-pack, and they come with the blades not attached to the head. So when you're rigging up a tube, you shove that jig head up into the tube, and then when you punch the two ends through, then you can add your blade to it. So the smallmouth fishing I know is red hot up north, and a lot of people are fishing tubes, and this is just a way to add a little bit of flash and a little bit something different to your tube that probably not a lot of people are gonna take the time to rig up, since you do have to rig these on once you've already rigged the head up. So, I mean, you can run them just as a straight tube head if you want, but you add that blade on there, and now you just got something different, add a little bit of something extra to your tube fishing. Super cool tube head there from Deeks Jigs. Last one up we got the new Shimano Twin Power XD. So this came out a few months ago, and we just got them into stock. So we have them in the 3000, 4000, and 5000 series. So if you're looking for a lightweight reel that's super powerful, and you can hold up to freshwater and saltwater. This is going to be one you want to check out. So this is part of their Magnum Light family, and it's got that MGL rotor on there. So it has very low startup inertia, and it takes little to no effort to start cranking this thing. That oversized knob on there, that big EVA handle, gives you a lot of cranking power. It's got Shimano's X-Protect in there, so there's a series of ports, so no salt water or anything can get down into the compartments of the reel. So it's gonna give you a lot more longevity and just overall keep that reel protected when you're using it in salt water. It's also built on the Hagane all aluminum body, so super rigid, really powerful, and it's got the new micro modular 2 gearing in it. So what that is a really fine cut tooth gearing, and it's just buttery smooth, and there's a lot tighter tolerances in that, so everything's gonna stay perfectly in line, especially when you're cranking on fish, and it's gonna just remain smooth for a lot longer period of time. On the spool, it's got the cross carbon drag system, and then it's also reinforced on the top. The spool is reinforced in the spool shaft, so when you're really cranked down on a fish and you're giving max drag, 20 pounds of drag, this spool is not gonna torque and bend and get out of line and give the fish more drag than you're trying to apply. So everything's gonna stay nice, perfectly straight and tight, and that drag's gonna remain smooth no matter how much drag pressure you're putting on a fish. Just a super high quality reel. The Shimano Twin Power has been around for a long time. This new XD, is just taking it another step further. If you're looking for high quality, lightweight reel that can stand up to a lot of abuse and big fish and saltwater species, you're gonna wanna check out this new Twin Power XD. All right, that's all we got for you today. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of What's New with TW. For more information or to purchase these products seen here today, make sure to click shop or the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, let us know in the comments which one of these baits you're most pumped about.